And we're live. This is Julian Jean-Pierre from the Royal Solution Seamoss Company, and you are watching Seamoss. Let's talk about Seamoss with Julian. And it's a beautiful Sunday night. It's Family Day here in weekend in Canada. For all my Canadian friends, happy Family Day weekend. I want to make sure I'm getting some viewers on my live streams here. So I was a little late starting tonight. I actually went out for dinner and had some pasta and Italian, so I'm really bloated and full. What's up, COVID-19, my boy? I hope you're having a happy family day. And let me just open the clubhouse room and just wait for a few people to jump on these live streams. Let me make sure I'm getting them in the right groups. I am not getting my code. There's so much codes and stuff like that to get into these different apps. Give me 1 second. I gotta go on my phone for a quick sec. 802 050. There we go. I had to jump and get the code for the clubhouse. So if you guys want to join me and talk live, and you don't want to text your questions and stuff, I do have a clubhouse room open, and that you can go in there and talk with me and ask me questions, and even just have an open discussion about Seamoss. I don't think enough people are doing enough to talk just generally about Seamoss, and not just what it can do for you and stuff, but just like how we can use it in business, how the products are made, the history of it, how it's grown, the environment that it's grown in. Many people don't even understand how Seamoss, it doesn't even realize that Seamoss is an algae, Hey, what's up, Todd? I'll wait for Todd to join in. He just jumped in on the clubhouse. But yeah, as I was saying, it's like, and a lot of times I feel like too many people are afraid to talk openly and share their opinions because of, ridicule from other groups and stuff like that. There's so many people that are passionate in Seamoss, and rightly so. Like I'm right at the front of the line when it comes to being passionate about Seamoss. You'll definitely see me, getting online and getting in the comments and voicing my opinions and my thoughts and stuff like that. So I understand it, and I feel like there should be open discussions on both sides. See, I don't know what just happened there. Did you see that? Okay, I'm gonna end this room and start again. I had this clubhouse. There's this glitch in Clubhouse where it kicks me out of the room and makes it a private room for some reason. If something happens in it, I don't know. Either way, let me just make sure that, because usually I have more members coming in to view the live stream. I just want to make sure that I am streaming, because sometimes even the Facebook will glitch and the restreaming here, and I won't be able to stream. And so I'm gonna join this one. Hey Reginald, do you see what happened there in the clubhouse? How it just kicked us out of the room there?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I thought it was something that happened on my
No, and it's done it before, where it's kicked the room out, and like everybody, and then all of a sudden it's a closed room, and I'm just like, what?
No one is spread flowers, man. They don't want to share this knowledge. They trying to block us.
You know, honestly, I know it's so easy to kind of think that way, but really, like I used to work in computers. Like if you understand how computers are built and designed, you'd be amazed that they work the way that they do. Because there's like
Uh,
you got to realize this: humans are not perfect, and we designed it. So in itself, it can't be
so
perfect.
they'll be more unperfect.
Yeah, you know. And what I've known from computers is that the more they run, the more you do things in it, the more the errors are going to be happening. But like when you really kind of like ponder it and think about the fact that we even have these computers, do you know what I'm saying? Like these are like when you break it down to its essence, these computers are transmitting tons of pulses of energy at different frequencies to mimic different characters of what we think that are ultimately ones and zeros, on and off. That's exactly what the computer is. It's a collection of electronic pulses. Anyway, sorry, I just kind of ran off on that little thought there. But I guess it
How you been?
good,
Outside.
good. I just got back from dinner. I went out to have pasta. I ended up having what I always get the same thing, and it kind of irritates me. I got the veal parmesan, but when I look on the menu, it's like none of the stuff I like, you know. And so I always default to I hate ordering something and then not liking it, and then I feel like it's a waste of money.
Yeah, that's kind of how I mean, just area and pretty much that meat outside of it's like you gotta go through this menu and it's like okay, out of this small portion of the menu, what can I choose out of this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like you say, it's like, damn, like I hope I like this. And then when you get it, it's like, oh, dang. Like,
Yeah,
like no.
and more times I don't like it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, did you catch my? Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you finish what you were saying.
No, I'm saying, like you get to that menu and then you don't want to be that rude customer that's like, hey, can I get something else?
Yeah, I don't like this.
But if you don't like, hey, return it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna get something. Or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm too much of a pussy to tell them the truth. I always say everything's perfect when I hate it, but sometimes I'll give them the look like, yeah, it's fine. Like we don't want no problem. You know, I don't want the guy spit. I got more food coming. I don't want them freaking out in the kitchen. But did you catch my live stream the other day where I showed off that Condor's Crispus?
No, I didn't catch that one.
You got it.
I think I think it popped up. I think I got my Facebook.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
Yeah, I think I've seen it pop up.
I didn't do it on Facebook. I actually did it. Well, the one I'm talking about now. So I recently did a live stream on Friday, but I did it on Instagram. I don't know if you follow me on there.
Okay, so yeah, that's where I seen it on Instagram. I know it popped up on one of my social media.
Yeah.
And I think it was maybe yesterday.
Yeah.
Friday. Maybe it was yesterday.
Well,
I think I seen it pop up.
I did it.
Okay, like I'm used to seeing like the big pop-ups for Sunday or Wednesday, and so seeing it pop up on a Saturday or maybe a Friday. Was it yesterday?
No, I think it was Friday,
Okay.
and I did it
Yeah.
Friday, or maybe it was. What was I doing yesterday? Oh, fuck. I hate when I have.
Friday.
Yeah, I think it was Friday because I think Saturday I did shit. Huh?
It was Saturday.
It was Saturday, so I was working.
Okay.
Listen, every day seems like the same day at the warehouse. Like,
Yeah, it's like they all clamming to each other.
yeah, like the only day I don't go is Sunday, and even sometimes if there's a lot of orders, I'll go in Sunday evening, But I have church on Sunday, so I don't book anything on Sundays.
Well, I must say, first and foremost. So yesterday I had my first. I was a vendor at my first pop-up shop.
Oh,
I
yeah.
used some of your Seamoss that I got, and I'm pleasurably pleased with the product that I got from you, Julian.
Oh, thank you.
And so immediately, like as soon as it got in the mail, like I washed it, cleansed it, and soaked it and everything. And I used that for some Seamoss lemonade that I came out with, and I rolled it out for the first time at the pop-up shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I made strawberry lemonade, peach lemonade, elderberry lemonade, and hibiscus lemonade. And this lady came, like she came and got some, she bought some, she say, and she came back later on, she say, yeah, I'm very caffeine like sensitive, like I'm sensitive to caffeine. And I tasted the juice and I had this big jolt of energy. Like I had this big jolt of energy and I don't know where it came from, but do you put caffeine in your juice? I'm like, absolutely not. Like I don't put any caffeine in there. She was like, well, maybe it's the biscuits. I'm like, no, ma'am, that's the Seamoss that you're feeling.
Mm-hmm. That's the point of it.
Yeah, so I just had to, just clear the air just a little bit. Like that Seamoss that is it.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely I appreciate that, I guess you can say.
No problem. It's my pleasure. I've been thinking about it lately. I'm really honored to be in the position that I am to provide that kind of quality of Seamoss. And at the end of the day, it's like I'm only the sort of like the messenger. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the people in St. Lucia, these guys, these farmers that are really working hard. You know what I mean? And sometimes these guys, what really hurts me more than anything, I'm gonna try not to get too emotional, is that when these guys turn around and they throw this shit on me, because I'm out in the comments, right? And I'm saying stuff because I'm not afraid about saying it. And I'll tell people, and they'll the one of the first sort of like attacks that they put back on me is like, oh well, you're just selling that farm shit because you're trying to make money and this and that. And it's like, like if you saw how hard these guys work to produce this product, the quality of product it is, the time that they take to clean the Seamoss, to make sure that do you know how much shit is in that stuff when it comes right out of the water naturally? Like even the real wild crafts and stuff, like some of these species, it's like no one would eat this stuff because it's got so much, it's so hard to clean. You know what I mean? And so to select that product, and I realized it the other day when I was looking at that Condorus crispus when I did the live stream, and I was like, fuck, this guy must have really took time to clean this shit and stuff and make sure it's, because it doesn't just come out of the water like that.
Yeah.
And the part of it that a lot of people don't, I guess you can say, understand that when it comes to the wild crafted, a lot of people want the wild crafted, but they don't understand the part that comes with the wild crafted part that comes with going in naturally diving and saying that they want wild crafted, and actually that's taken away. Like if you just dive for nothing but wild crafted Seamoss, then it's actually taken away from the natural part of the species of the Seamoss. Because if everybody was getting wild crafted Seamoss, then ultimately it will run out of Seamoss at some point.
Definitely.
We would run out.
And
so when it comes to people that is farming it,
mm-hmm.
that's bringing it from the wild crafted part and then reproducing it in a sense,
mm-hmm.
then that is the beneficial part of it. It's like you're giving back,
mm-hmm.
from my understanding, from my personal understanding, it's like from the farming, they take from wild crafted and then they go and reproduce
mm-hmm.
reproduce from that in their form. So if you're taking away, if everybody was wild crafting it, then where is the natural part of it? If everybody was wild crafting it, then it wouldn't be anything left for anybody else to produce from it. You know, just from my understanding of it.
No, you're right, and it would like totally upset the marine environment. We'd run out of Seamoss, uh, and like even when you say farming, dude, like I was thinking about as you're talking, it's like farming is more of a strong word. I would even say like it's like cultivating because it's like when you think of a farm, you're thinking 20 acres, this that, plow machines. None of that happens there. Do you know what I mean? A farm is like 100 feet by 100 feet. Do you know what I mean? That's a
Yeah.
big farm. You know what I mean? And maybe I don't know, less than 100 lines, and like 50 feet a line. It's not that. Hold on one second. If it's not for you. Got this guy in the live stream comment. I don't know why he's upset. I didn't invite him to this discussion, but he's mad because we're talking about Seamoss, and he's telling us to change the topic. Actually, what topic would you like us to change it to? That would be curious because the show's called "Let's Talk About Seamoss."
There has to be a bot or like those trolls.
Yeah, it probably is. I'll block him in a minute if it comes to a problem. But getting back to what I was saying, it's not really massive farming. Do you know what I mean? These guys are putting in some lines. You know what I mean? There's 4 or 5 people, and you know, they're not using like heavy machinery to move. This stuff is all done by hand. They're cleaning it by hand. I saw a video posted by another company, and it showed them, and I know it's seeing it because I've seen it firsthand. And these guys wash it even when so they'll take it from the bleaching, and from the bleaching, I mean, not every farmer does this, but a lot of them will just clean almost every strand. So just think about cleaning by hand 1,000 pounds. Do you know what I'm saying? Like 1,000 pounds. That's what it would take to make 100 pounds. And right now, I have over 3,000 pounds sitting in Canada. So like the amount of effort that takes to produce that kind of quality of CMOS, it's not something that's done by machine. It's not done by like this. There's a reason why it's such good quality. And I take such great offense when people are trying to associate it like it, because and it's like I could understand if they were there and they seen it and they experienced the stuff firsthand, and then they turn around and say, "Well, this is my opinion." I can respect that. But the majority of them have never. They don't even understand what they're talking. They've never seen a farm to understand they're like I said, they're probably thinking it's like 30 acres big or whatever, which is not the case. No one has a farm that big. Not even the whole community has that. They may have like an acre or two. It's you know what I mean? So dominate life, Lee says, that's why you have a high quality product. You have people willing to do the work. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then Latana said, is there no real difference between wildcraft and farm? No. Honestly, like the farmed is starting, like you said, Reginald, it starts from wildcraft. We can't just grow this thing. It's not a plant. You can't just grow it from seed. Do you know what I'm saying? The stuff has to like almost mate in order to form. And so when the sea moss gets to a certain life cycle or stage in its life cycle, it will start producing these like bumps on its skin. And those bumps will start releasing different like egg. It will be either eggs or sperm, but they have different names for them. Honestly, I don't remember. I think it's called grommets or something. We can look it up if you really want to know. But they do that, and that stuff floats around in the ocean. And here's a major thing that people don't realize: that floating sperm and eggs and stuff is phytoplankton. right? And it mixes with the other organisms and helps feed organisms and stuff like, so it actually acts as food. And so that goes all the way up the life cycle to like whales. And so if you fuck with the Seamoss, you can essentially, pardon?
Oh yeah, I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah, you can essentially mess up, like, at least this is my theory, is that you would mess up the ecosystem, which would cause like an unbalance in the food chain, and ultimately life would degrade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no kidding. Everything starts from the ocean, and like, look how many people are doing wildcrafted.
Mhm.
Like, if we keep doing that in like 10 years at least, you know, 10 freaking years.
Well, honestly, most of the people I believe that have stuff that they think is well crafted isn't. But here's the thing.
That's true. I see that.
But here's the thing too, right? And this is what I got to be full disclosure. In the last probably 6 or so months in St. Lucia, most of the Seamoss coming out, because they said there's so much Seamoss, like it's just literally washing up on shore. Something happened with that volcano, and the Seamoss is growing like crazy. It's like it's got so much nutrients in there and whatever it needs to grow. And yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, phytoplankton is what the the Seamoss eggs and the sperm act as. So they float around and they settle on some kind of substrate, whether it be like a rock, coral, wood, old tire, anything that it can sort of like land and rest and grow. And then from there, it starts kind of germinating. And so part of the hold fast, at least that I believe, although I can't see any research, has to come from a lot of the soot and material that comes into the sea, and that would rest in that area, and then would just kind of grow from there, and then somehow it calcifies. But it uses the rock and the crevices to hold on to, and that's like its only purpose of falling on there. And so you will find the sea moss sometimes even buried in sand. That's why it's able to attach from seashells. If you see it, sometimes connected to seashells and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. And when you farm it, at least in St. Lucia, it's like they mimic the sea moss. In fact, I've noticed at times where we would have some ropes that we weren't using. They were just kind of like lying dormant, and you would go to clean them, and you would see like sort of like baby growth of sea moss coming out of there, out of the different rows, because the you know what I mean. If say one's giving birth 2 lines down, it's going to float and attach itself to a rope or something else. So yeah. Wonder if Alex is still there. I should give him a coupon in the thing. I gave him a coupon, a discount on my Seamoss. So it seems to be a problem with my Facebook live stream. I wonder if I can shut it off and start it again and it'll work. So someone just said to me that they can't get on the comments. And so I wonder if there's a way to turn it off and turn it on. And so Latia, I don't know if I pronounced that right. You want to know if you can get a coupon? Yes, you can get a coupon. Everybody can get a coupon. Here is the coupon. Try us 25, and you get 25% off your next order. And I don't know if anybody knew this, but I recently made some changes to the website, and we're now offering free shipping. Over $100.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So if you place an order over 100, then ship for you free within North America. Sorry, let me clarify that because I do have a lot of international clients.
Are you still gonna add the samples of the condoms?
Well, if you want a sample, I'll hook you up. I was
I'm just generally asking.
No, but you should try it, Maria. It actually looks really good. Like I was.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah, and so I talked to him on the phone. I think he's going to come on the next live stream again, and so I've talked. Well, not talked to him on the phone. Talked to him over text message. And so he's saying he's ramping up more production. He's trying to harvest as much as he can, and he's getting into more dulse and a few other stuff. But he said he's almost like sold out of stuff. So he's like, I got to get more things to going. And, you know.
Yeah, bladder rack too with it. That's trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So bladderwrack, dulse, Condorus crispus, and
Do you know how the waters are over there in New Brunswick, or like the environment?
That's a good question. You know what? I should get him to send me some videos and it like look where. See, I don't know where exactly he is in New Brunswick, so it would be depending on where it is in New Brunswick, where the waters were. But I can look into it through a buddy of mine because I don't know if you have ever seen where the waters were, but I can look into it through a buddy of mine because I don't know if you've ever seen where the waters were, but I can look into it through a buddy of mine because yeah, I'm gonna turn them off until yeah. Because it's like it's weird hearing yourself talk after you know what I mean?
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah. Did you mute it yet? Did you hear me yet? Okay, there he did it. So Leventel, she's saying, how do you determine the water quality? So same question you were asking about the water quality. I do have a friend. He runs a company called Vegan Electric. His name's Kenya, and he's like some biologist, or I don't know. He used to work for the Burundian government, and some of the stuff he did work out in Nova Scotia, doing like checking trees and all this stuff in the environment. So he'll know about the water quality there and what areas are kind of like if there's any to avoid. I would assume like the major cities and stuff like that for sure, you know. But you know, major cities is what you would want to avoid. So, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was gonna ask, don't we get like seafood from New Brunswick, or is it higher?
Who does?
Like, to get it in the stores.
I don't know.
Or like just generally. Okay, I thought we would get seafood from over there.
Oh, where we get this? Most of the seafood comes from PEI. That's where a lot of the mussels are, and then lobsters are from New Brunswick, Newfoundland, PEI. Yeah, like all in that sort of East Coast. Like that's all East Coast. All the East Coast, like right down to Maine, is where you would find that stuff. You know. Yeah. What's up, Moss King? Did you get the sound working?
No, you know what? I forgot I had Facebook pulled up on the other thing. And when you was telling me to mute it, I just muted it on anyway. Yeah, I forgot to log off of Facebook.
So she's saying, "Oh, the quality of wild sea moss." You know what? No one's really put the actual test to determine the quality. I have done this. I've personally tried sea moss, like wild processed sea moss, for 2 weeks, like stuff that I knew that was dying, that was done before, and then I went and used stuff that was foreign for 2 weeks, and I didn't feel any difference. It wasn't like one felt different. It was, you know, and so and a lot of the stuff that I saw, like, because there's different kind of species, and in different environments, sea moss is going to grow differently, right? And so a lot of the wildcrafted that kind of like down there, like the real rare kind of wildcrafted, it's a lot thicker and stuff. And so and it catches a lot of the stuff and a lot of the just the ocean debris, which when you dry it and stuff, unless you do it clean it well, it looks terrible. Like I should be. Actually, no, I don't have my. If I had my own computer, I would be able to pull out a photo I have of when my uncle went and bought me Seamoss that they went and just died for, and it was like it had like plastics in it, like all types of rope and bar. You know what I mean? It looked like they dragged it across the beach and stuff, and it had all this brown stuff on it, which is like I don't know. It's like ocean. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what to call it. Like, you know, it gets on everything. The ocean. That's so cool.
Is that about the waterways that the moss is coming out of not being the best?
No, that's just the ocean.
Okay.
Like when you get into like close to shore, the water is going to look clear and clean, right? But even then, there's still like microscopic bits. You know what I mean? Like even with a clear ocean, if you took a cup and you pulled it up, there'd be stuff floating in the water. You know what I'm saying? And so we're talking something that's sitting there for like 6 months or longer, right? All that back and forth and all the stuff getting kicked up, especially if there's like a storm or something like that. It's going to be just any sort of kind of, and that's what I'm saying. It's just it's almost like plant matter. That's what I would kind of say. It's indescribable plant matter. You know what I mean?
It build up over time.
Yeah, or it's like an algae or whatever. Like there's even this stuff that's like long thin hairs. I call them sea hair because when you dry it, right, it looks like blonde hair after you bleach the sea moss. You ever got the sea moss and you've seen those fibers, and sometimes you'll see them kind of bunch up together, and it looks like it's like a moss. It's like this greeny moss.
Yeah, you know, you probably got to be getting it in the poundages that you get it in
Yeah.
to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, normally the sea moss is relatively clean, but usually in the purple or the colors, you'll see it more than you would in the stuff. But you know, it's because you know the stuff.
I'm just saying, if you're getting like in the high hundreds or thousands of pounds, you more likely to see some of it at some point than you know. Yeah.
Like I was telling these guys earlier, like they spend a lot of time and energy cleaning it, making sure that it's of good quality, and selecting the best sea moss to make sure it's that kind of great. And so,
No, I know it's a time consuming process because even when I was looking at the chondrus, and you know I sell chondrus, you know, sometimes, and I've had it really clean, and then I've also had it not clean, you know, and I mean that's some of the most debris filled sea moss out there. I mean it's natural stuff, but I mean you see everything in chondrus. But I actually found a guy out of the country that has like some. I've never seen no chondrus like this, like so pretty, so clean. And then he only harvested like when it's fully mature, so the florets like
Right
They're
there you
real big.
go. Wow.
Hmm. So when you hydrate it, like the florets are like so big. He don't
Mhm.
even he don't even take it, before it's time to take it before it's mature.
Yeah, that gets that level. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
important. Well, did you ever catch the Instagram live that I did the other day? I guess it was Saturday. I thought it was Friday.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. That was some beautiful conjures.
Hmm.
That guy reached out to me. I talked to him, but I mean the the price and he has good prices, but um I still can get it a little cheaper than that.
Hmm. And you
So,
like the way the other stuff is, anyways, right? That's what you're looking.
but his stuff look like no, that conjures that he sent you. That's some premium conjures.
Hmm.
And his prices aren't high there, but I'm just saying I can still get it a little cheaper. But for what he's charging for that,
Yeah, it's
it
good
is
stuff.
an exceptional price.
Hmm.
It's an exceptional price.
Yeah, yeah, no. And I meant to bring some. I got home from dinner tonight, and I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot to take it home. I wanted to bring it to show it tonight so that people can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hey,
I was
what's up?
actually happy to see you showcase it to show what it was, because it's at least for me, it's hard to trust people with regards to, like, well, I don't got to worry about the CMOS part, but as
Mhm.
far as the kind that we have, but as far as Congress, you know what I'm saying? So when I was anxious to see what it was, when you pulled it out, and as soon as you pulled it out, I was like, oh yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah. Oh, the smell of it alone, I was like, hmm. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
was almost ready to eat it. Like I was like, wow, like that's how clean it looked.
yeah,
And
yeah.
but here's the thing: I don't have a lot of experience with Condorus. I've actually only got it twice. One from Maria, and then this time from him. And both times the CMOS was really cool because I think I even pulled out Maria's, and hers is more the mature like where it has the larger phones. But I'm sure
Yeah.
maybe he didn't send me like the more like he's probably got different stuff. That's the thing when you're dealing with a lot of CMOS, you get different grades and qualities. You know what I mean? And there's
Mm,
times where I can get CMOS where it's like, well, I'm selling it right now. I got this stuff that's like super super dry. You know what I mean? And
mm,
for a gel maker, they love it, right? And some other guys would be to me like, no, no, don't send me that dry shit. I want it moist so I can fit it in the bag and it doesn't rip my bags and stuff like that, or it doesn't
mm.
hurt my hands. Because when you're thinking about it, you're moving I don't know a couple hundred packages. I've done it before co-packing for people. You want to have your hands all good and not getting scratched up from dry. I've even had it where I've gotten slivers of CMOS in my skin because it was so dry, and it was like,
Really?
yeah, it was like a wood. Yeah,
No, I can see that. I can see that. And even when you was talking about the super dry sea moss and how difficult it is to, like, put it into a package
yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah,
Well, the box I have to put it is almost twice the size of a normal 5 pound box.
yeah,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
mean that's not only because there's more volume, but just because I can't pack it down like I normally would on a thing.
But like you say, for somebody that's making gels, yeah, it's a great profit to be made off of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey Maria, you were saying something earlier before we kind of interrupted you. What was it that you wanted to? Was it a question you wanted to ask or something you wanted to mention?
I'm just super curious because I actually didn't know how he was that. So on the video,
Yeah,
then you were pointing out that that was actually a parasite.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that. Like, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I'll probably take photos and like I'll probably send you it just to confirm like that's.
Yeah,
But
and
I just thought it was just part of the seed.
yeah, I mean it is. I mean a parasite is a strong word. You know what I mean? But what it is, it's kind of like an organism that is in the ocean that kind of clings on to the sea moss, and it happens in St. Lucia too. That's where I seen it, right? Because I was at a buddy's farm, and he had an area that he was using, kind of like sort of like a nursery that he would use to then pick off the other plants to grow, and that the sea moss there has been sitting for a long time, right? It's just kind of there, like hanging. And so I saw this kind of growth on it, right? And I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just parasite." And when you read the manual, I don't know if you have the manual, Moss King, but if anybody wants to get the manual, just shoot me an email about it. But there's a manual that was put out by the Caribbean Institute something. You know, actually, no, I don't have it on this computer. I was gonna say I'll just pull it up, but anyways, the manual goes into the explanation about sea moss and the different sea mosses and how to grow the sea moss and how the farming techniques are, and just recipes for sea moss and a bunch of shit information. What it was meant for was to give the information to be able to do the technical transfer to go to other countries, and also to teach locals how to sea moss. Right? And so inside that manual, they talk like what that thing is, and it's not
Okay.
it's not harmful for you. You just wash it off. You know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna look into that.
Yeah.
That's something new for me.
Yeah. But once you take it out of the water, it dies. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So that's what I'm saying. It's just this kind of thing. Like I don't know what I could describe it to. That'd be simpler, like on a plant or something like that. But it's just like it's one of those things where you just kind of rub it off, and then that's it. It comes out. It's like dirt. You know what I mean? That would be kind of like the similar thing. Like you can eat it. No one really wants to taste dirt, right? But like we have dirt on our potatoes and stuff like that. Like if you don't peel your potato, a lot of that skin is encrusted with dirt, right? So that's sort of the kind of thing, you know. So maybe I should say a symbiotic organism. That would be a better term to describe it.
Yeah, than a parasite.
Because they live in hand. But I mean, that was the term that they used.
I do know a little bit. I know about the new which is
Yeah.
literally the most popular company in the world.
And that file, did you show us that before, by the way? The Caribbean and something. You showed us that before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I think Yusuf sent me it. I was actually gonna ask you how to look for it.
Yeah, I actually think I can look it up real quickly. Pull it up.
Yeah. And they changed the way battle works.
There it is. Found it.
You want to know how the new battling system works?
So if anybody wants to Google Seamoss farming manual, it's the second link in the top there. You guys can just download it with that.
So basically, it's infinitely higher.
But I think people need to kind of like read this or learn it just so that they even understand what it's about. Some of these guys are so like, how do I say it?
Because the school status,
It's like they don't want to listen to anything. You know what I mean? Like if it's not fit into their sort of like box of what they think the world should be, like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. What happened here? I think he left. Maybe he went to change his. Oh look, Latita put it in the link. Thank you. That's exactly the link for this thing. And we lost Moss King. It's unfortunate. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it. Let's see here. Oh. It's all these like friggin' what do they call them? Security things. I can't open the thing and share the screen because I have to get permission to my. It sucks. And I think in order to give the permission and make it work, I have to whatchamacallit? I'd have to restart my browser or something stupid.
Oh, are you talking about the cookies?
Well, on the Mac. So on the Mac, what they have is like you have to give certain permissions when you want to do something. So like if I want to share my screen with a program on the browser, I have to go in there and give it permission. It's like with like an Android phone or iPhone now. And so I basically say like, okay, this thing's got permission to share my screen. Yeah, it says Google Chrome will not be able to record the contents until your screen is quit. So forget that. I want to quit now. But we can all look it up and see it, and it has good information. You guys can watch it up on your own time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let's see if anybody was asking any other questions. Oh, Dominate Life Lee asked me what led me to Seamoss and how did you become in the Seamoss community? So, who wants to hear this story? Not a very long one, but I think I've told it before, so I don't know.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, so many times. It's a good story, though. I'm gonna tell it to my.
No, it's freaking awesome to hear everybody's story, like no matter what, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this: God led me to Seamoss. I'll sum it up in a short way. God led me into Seamoss. I believe that my purpose is manyfold in this Seamoss, and it's not just to sell Seamoss, but it's to help create as many opportunities for as many people as I possibly can, and to change as many lives as I can touch in St. Lucia. That's sort of my like ultimate goal. You know what I mean? That's my ultimate sort of passion and desire. That's what sort of fuels me to get up every morning, is to be able to get closer and closer to make a change for as many people as I can. There are so many people that are suffering and hurting in St. Lucia. It is ridiculous. You know what I mean? And these kids, a lot of the youth are like, imagine living, I think the youth employment is somewhere between 38%. So almost half the kids that are around have no sort of viable means of employment. You know what I mean? Many of the guys that I know, it's like they have nothing to do all day. And it's like, I know the guys I hang around are good people, but there's a lot of people that aren't. And and I understand why they're getting into trouble is because they have so much time on their hands to just, whatever. And they have no, how do you say it? No prospect for a future. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they feel like that it's like, uh, hey, sorry, Ricky. I thought I invited you as soon as I came in. You came in. Well, let me make sure you send it again. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, man?
Good.
Keep going, man. I'm listening.
Yeah. So as I was saying, like, these kids, like, I know for most of them, they don't want to live that kind of lifestyle where they're getting in trouble. They want opportunities, and they're smart people, and they're hardworking. Do you know what I mean? They just need that sort of like, I don't know what to say. It's almost like that little kind of push of confidence. You know what I mean? To say, yes, this can work. We're gonna do it. You know what I mean? We just gotta stay committed to the course and the plan. And as long as we work hard enough, we'll see it through. And that's what I'm trying to like. And sometimes it's not even like saying it, but it's leading by example. You know what I'm saying? So by me doing this and showing people how I'm doing it and the way I'm doing it, it lets people know, well, you know what? If he can do it, then so can I. Do you know what I'm saying? And so if that's anything I want to like motivate people is that like if I can do it, you can do it. Guaranteed. The only thing that's stopping you from doing it is you and the level of the amount of energy that you put into it. And people, honestly, I don't believe they're putting enough. I don't think I'm putting enough energy into it. And look what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Could you imagine if I 2x this, my energy into what I'm doing? Anyways, I digress. I don't want to keep ranting on, but that's my purpose. That's my reason for getting into Seamoss and why I'm selling Seamoss, and that's to try and change it. And it's not just St. Lucia. I'm doing what I can to change everybody around me. I feel like as long as we work hard to like help each other out, we all level up. You know what I mean? And it's all good for Seamoss. I feel that part of the reason why I'm making more money is because I've helped people, more people make money, even the people that have no directly connection to me, because they're working to bring new people into the space. You know what I'm saying? And we honestly, it's not this market. I was saying this to someone the other day. I don't believe this market's saturated. I believe that it's underexposed, and so everyone needs to work harder to expose as many people as we can to it, to get more people into CMOS so that we can generate more products, more business, more demand, everything, you know? And there's so much you can do with CMOS. There's a company that in Toronto that I work with or that I sell to. It's named All Things CMOS. You should check them out. And these guys are making all kinds of products, like CMOS cookies, homemade CMOS cookies, and they're selling these. Who's doing that? Do you know what I mean? No one's doing that. Why is no one doing that? You know what I mean? And I would eat a CMOS cookie and probably pay $2 for it. But you know what? I'm giving too much game. I should sell a course on this. I actually been thinking about that. I don't know how I'm going to organize it, but what I've been thinking about doing, and I don't know how people are going to feel about this, but I've been thinking about toning down a little bit of the amount of lives that I'm doing and creating some kind of like Patreon group or whatever where we really talk serious game and ideas and stuff. And so this would be something for people that are really sort of committed to this industry and want to work together to um, learn more and understand more about the business and join. And there will be a fee for it, but what I want to do is take all that money and use that to help people in St. Lucia and sort of work on something where even helping people with like building homes. I watch the news a lot of St. Lucia, like almost every night before I go to bed. And I see a lot of homes getting burnt down or getting like the other day a home just collapsed and all their shit is all on the out in the open. No roof, no nothing. Gone. House, boom. What do they do? And some of these people aren't working. You know what I mean? This is a country with 20% unemployment. You know what I mean? Like I said, 38% in the youth, you know? And it's probably worse now because of COVID. So who's going to help these people? You know what I mean? And they're good people. A lot of them are good, hardworking, honest people. You know what I mean? They just need a blessing. So that's something I feel like if I donate my time and my energy, it would be better suited. And I think that those people that would invest into that idea, they're going to be more respectful and you know, how do you say it? Like I don't know. I'm like if we're going to bring a bunch of people into this industry and support them and do what we can to help them out, I want to make sure that the people that I'm doing it for are people that are going to that are like-minded and are going to give back. You know what I mean? Like you, Reginald, Maria, Ricky. You know what I mean? Like to me, those are the people that should deserve the knowledge because they're going to take it and respect it. You know what I mean? Whatever we do, and they're not going to try and use it against each other to sort of for their own capitalistic gain, which is would defeat my whole purpose of kind of sharing this information. Because then, if you take it for yourself and you're not sharing with other people, then how are we all leveling up? You know what I mean? You're almost kind of like leeching and leveling up yourself, and this is the crab in the barrel mentality, and I can't support that. You know, so
Right.
yeah. I feel like I'm Kanye, where I'm like running through my thoughts and ideas out in the open, and everybody's like wondering what I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm just kind of vibing and just figuring this out. So,
Yeah,
hey,
no, we do it with you too, so don't worry.
thank you, I appreciate that. So hey, Ricky, how's things going, man?
Everything's going wonderful, man. I'm actually working on ads right now, so yeah, it's ads week.
You what?
No, that I'm working on ads, trying to
ads.
yeah, trying to get things right.
What are you using to make the ads? Or anything, any program or?
Nah, not really. I think the biggest thing is setting up. Like if you actually have a Shopify store, is setting up apps on your Shopify store that kind of make your store a lot better. And then just like small things, like if you want to set up wholesale, like just the discounts that you can offer and how you can tier them and things of that nature. So I've kind of done some. I really did some ads, but now I have to change a couple things on my website so it looks a little bit more user friendly, or it's easier to understand where the sale is instead of having to kind of search around for it. So that's what I'm on tonight. Not doing too much else. Experimented earlier with some Seamoss. Came out all right, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, it's always done.
It's an everyday situation.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, man. I've actually been looking at Canva for doing ads, but also you mentioned Shopify. They actually have some apps that are pretty good at taking like your raw footage and sort of like piecing it together so that you can create an ad, and they'll even upload it to like Instagram and whatnot. So
yeah, the thing is actually now I hope somebody else may actually be able to tell me. I've been looking for an app. See, most of the time they only take your product photos.
Yeah.
And so it's not really any other photos that you have on your website. It's just product photos. So you have to put all those photos in your product photos for them to actually use them. Mint is actually a good one if you actually take really, really good product photos. Mine are just regular, so they just comes up as a regular, and doesn't really look good. But yeah, Mint is a good one if you do have Shopify. It actually goes with
Mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Never heard of Mint.
Canva is wonderful. I love Canva.
So Moss Boss here, Lente, he says, I need to change something on my site. Just cleaned up my kitchen, getting ready for the work week. Yes, that's it, the start of the week. Tomorrow's actually family day, and my kids have blessed me. They're going to come in the warehouse and help me pack Seamoss.
Yeah, I actually had my kids for a couple hours.
Nice.
Too, before I actually have to drive them back. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Matter of fact, I need to actually do some product photos with them.
Yeah.
Just to have them.
Yeah, man. So tomorrow's a holiday for you too, right? It's like President's Day or something?
I believe so. I just know the kids are out of school. That's how I rate the holidays. The kids are out of school.
Cool. They're around. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So Latia, you just said add me to it. I'll let everybody know once I get it kind of. I got to learn Patreon and figure out how that works so I can set it up right. And I think it'd be cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's cool with the ads and stuff like that. I actually started advertising on TikTok been trying that, but I don't know how I like it too much. Actually, I'm worried because I think I might be getting shadow banned. I got violated, and it was like a dumb thing. Like I didn't read the community guidelines, and two, I didn't watch the complete video that I posted. And there's like a 2-second clip where the guy's lighting a spliff, and it's like he's doing it in the background. You know what I mean? Because I was like, what? And the original thing was just, the kids eating a roasted banana. So yeah, we took some video of them all up in the country, and it was cute. They were sharing like a little roasted banana, and it looked good. I wish I was there. I was so jealous. Oh. Like roasted banana, roasted breadfruit, or even a roasted plantain. And when they do the roasted banana, it's not like a ripe banana; it's like a green banana that they roast. So it's weird. It gets really sweet and gets like kind of sugary after a while, but it's not like a banana. Like it's still firm and starchy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not mushy or anything.
No, it's not mushy.
Like oily,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's terrible though. I know TikTok, they've been offering like some sort of credits. I believe like 200 worth of credit.
Yeah, I saw one where it was $20 for in Shopify. They were giving something where it was, and that's how I got on it. They offered $20 for $200, or $200 for spending $20. And I did it. I spent more than $20, but I still haven't. I got to write to them because I don't know. Maybe I didn't do something right, and I didn't get the $200. I was kind of pissed. So we'll see. But what I think is cheaper is if you go in and you boost the ad through your app. But I don't know if you're able to see it in your ads manager through that. Because when you boost the ad, you get ad credits, right? And yeah, and you can control how much credits to spend per day and how many days to spend it during. Whereas in the ad manager, you have to spend at least $50 a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about it. Like for one ad, you're spending $50 in advertising. So you almost got to make sure that's a really good ad before you. You don't want to just experiment and throw it out there, and you want to work on your audiences. Although, yeah, but the click through rate and the whatchamacallit, the cost per click, not the click through rate, the cost per click, and the sort of like the numbers that are coming in, it's not bad. Like I mean, it's like less than $1 for people to click their site, and as long as you can somehow get them back in the front, like through like an abandoned cart or something like that, as long as you can get them back to come to the site, or you get some data off them, it's worth the money just to get them to your site. But what I feel is that if you have a good enough organized site, like even Rick was saying, to make sure there's no friction and they can see the deal that they initially click for, or the information that they were seeking, then they're going to be better at converting. And so as long as you get them to your site, they're eventually going to convert, which is what you want.
Yeah, the process is just getting them there. Once you get them to your site, you got good prices. Unless they're just searching. A lot of people are just searching, comparing. But if they're really looking to spend, they'll spend it if it's easy to navigate.
Yes, I totally agree. And your price is reasonable, and you have that like what would I call it? Like a certain like social proof or trust. You know what I mean? Like they gotta trust that you're a legitimate business. Like Ricky, your business just has tons of trust. You know what I mean? You got a sign showing you got a billboard. You know what I mean? So it's yeah. you got to be trustworthy in order to invest that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. At the same time, you want to throw a lot of people. Like I'm looking at my stats now, and it's like I had 300 people visit the site today, and I don't want to really talk about my sales too much, but it's a low conversion rate for sure. You know what I mean? And so you would think with that many people visiting your site, you would have sold more Seamoss. But, hell, I wish everybody that came to the site bought Seamoss. That would be lovely.
So how is your conversion rate? Is it now? Do you look as far as do you have a Shopify account?
Yep.
A Shopify website?
Yep.
Do you look to see what like if they're going to a certain page and you're getting a bounce off rate off the certain page, or are you seeing that one page is converting more than the others?
That I haven't been really sort of monitoring, and that's a good idea. Is to think about like what is causing them, like where is the point where they decide, okay, let's leave, like enough, I'm not interested in this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I have to look into. I think I can do that in Calavio, where they can show like the I can see the top landing pages. Do you know where? Is that what you look for when you're doing it, or are you just asking the question?
What's that?
Like, is that what you look at? Is the like what page did they bounce at, or what would that?
Yeah, I started looking at some of that stuff because it actually is really it gives you a lot of insight as far as what pages are working, and even if it may be a situation where it seems like it's working, but you may be off on something, like you just maybe need to add a picture or something of that nature, or need to kind of change something, or sometimes it may be going to, like, you may have one of those 404 situations that's going on with yours. So it just depends on a lot of different things, but I actually started looking at it recently a lot more, as far as just so, like, when you start doing ads, you don't want to take people to a page that actually is you actually have like people just fall off that page. Like they come there and then they go straight off the page. That means that it's not converting good. You want to get that page off.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going into these report page, and I didn't even see so much reports that I'm like, how do you say? When you like discover a feature of the site that you did, they must have came up with this new. I don't remember seeing this before, but I'm gonna start spending some time in the report. Like here's one: days of inventory remaining. Like to me, that is like an important metric for me to know. Like how much product I have in stock and how much, like, based on the average sales, what when am I going to run out? So then I know when to make sure I order enough new Seamoss. Another one here is average inventory sold per day. And actually, I'd have to do it like year to date. This is cool. Wow, I sell some of the stuff really a lot. Crazy. Yeah. So this would be cool to for people to check in their own site, especially if you have Shopify, to go into the report section and see what you did. Even look at what you sold last year. Like that's what I'm looking at right now, and I'd be curious to see, like, have you done that, Ricky? So looked at and seen, like, I'm not going to ask you the number, but have you looked and seen how many you sold in the last year?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I can kind of judge. Because the first year, I would say the first year was kind of topsy-turvy because it was just, everybody was on it. You could sell 100 pounds in less than a couple of days just off the people just trying to get into the business. And then last year, you seen it kind of slow down, where it started to kind of get steady. So I kind of based the numbers off of last year. But yeah, the insight is really good.
Mm-hmm. This is crazy. Like, I almost want to, and I think you can export this stuff and put it into a spreadsheet. You know what I mean? Which is huge. I can even probably break this down to like location. Wow. But you know what? At the same time, my I don't you probably do it better than I do, but I don't. I need to update the inventory more. Like, I keep the inventory. I have an inventory like off, like in the warehouse, of what's coming in and stuff like on a spreadsheet. But I don't take the time to translate it over to the website. I just stock it and say, 50 of each, 50 of each, because I know I got more than 50 of each. But I should really sort of do it more accurately as I bring in. It's just, have you learned how to accept inventory on Shopify yet?
No.
Yeah, neither have I. So that's something I gotta figure out. And so when I learn how to do that, and so what I want to be able to do, and this is something I like when I first started, I couldn't find that this feature or ability is to accept raw material in Shopify and then show how you took, I received 1,000 pounds, and out of that 1,000 pounds, I made 52 ounces that represented this much pounds. And you know what I'm saying? Like how do they show the inventory where they break it down from bulk into the retail packaging? They don't have that. Not that I could find. You know what I mean? It probably is there, but it's like under some kind of label or term that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
But if I could do that, that would save my like whole sort of like world, because it would help with, because I do somewhat of a batch processing procedure, but I want to get it like really sort of integrated into the sale where I can almost kind of like see where that inventory came from, like right on the computer, and I don't have to go and look it up in a bunch of spreadsheets, which is what I have now.
Man, I'm over here trying to, and while we're talking about this, I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm trying to apply this app to my store, and it just isn't working out correctly. Like I'm looking for a discount app, and I can't find the right discount app right now. I'm about to go crazy.
Have you ever checked out PowerBuy?
I had that at the beginning, and then it just didn't feel exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't work right. Like, you set up these sales, and then there's so many ways to like circumvent the rules that you've set up clearly about how you want it. You know what I mean? And then, and then you end up losing money because it's like the person,
So I don't want to, hold on just a second. Okay, so I actually just started using this one, and it looks really good right now. It's called Ultimate Special Offers, but you can actually put it with another one that's called, hold on, let me go back to it. That's called, and they're actually by the same company. It's called Wholesale Pricing Discount. So those two together, I've seen actually kind of, like, you can create it. Like, I actually have a lot of products now. So me having a lot of products, I want to create different sales, like upselling different things. So if you actually get raw Seamoss. You can get powder as well for a discounted price. Things of that nature. So it allows you to kind of create these different
bundles.
Yeah, different bundles or different pop-ups. So if you buy, I would say a pound of raw Seamoss, raw gold, then you may get a pop-up saying, get freeze-dried powder for 35% off, and boom. And then you'll get another one that says, hey, if you want some soap as well,
add this to the cart.
Add this to the cart and get another 15% off on the soap as well. You know, little small things of that nature.
Yeah, and you always got to try these things to see, you know what I mean, how they're working and if they're working, you know what I mean. And I think they do. It definitely, you know, for a lot of customers. I mean, what I found with the abandoned cart, like I always thought, okay, people know they got their cart, they're gonna buy and stuff like that. But it was like a lot of times they just needed that reminder where they're like, oh shit, yeah, I got that in that cart. Okay, I gotta buy that. Or they meant to come back to me, but they're searching around, and that reminder is that one thing that kind of like pushed them to my direction. Whereas, you know what I mean? Had they not gotten that reminder, they might have found someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, well, why bother go look at a new site? I got this in the cart. I'll just pay for this. Fuck it. You know what I mean? And you know, it's worth that that having that little bit. But one thing was really cool, dude, is and I don't want to go and disclose the numbers, but I went into my Klaviyo and I looked in last year what I sort of made from the conversions of the emails that were saved, that were sent from Klaviyo. And it was like, to me, it's kind of like, there's no way, like I'll spend $200 a month on this thing because of the amount of conversions and sales that it brings in. It's almost like advertising in itself. And I'm even looking at myself and saying, am I really using this thing to its advantage? Because I'm not really sending out regular emails or any promotions and stuff. I could create like email flows for every sort of scenario that I can think of you know, like a customer that normally buys so many orders but hasn't bought an order for 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Send them an email with this kind of discount. Whereas I can do a different discount for another type of target consumer, and I can just leave it there so that when that person does come along, it's automatically sent out. Whereas opposed to me, you know what I mean, having to identify that person and keep track of them, and you know what I mean, like it's oh, I gotta spend more time on it.
It's I think, and be honest with you, I think it's a long growing process. Truthfully, once you kind of.
So Latia says, do you know of anyone making Seamoss body care products? Yes, Ricky here in the clubhouse. He's from Gold Seamoss. You're making what? Soaps? What else are you making?
Yeah, we're making soaps. We're almost done with our lotion. We're almost done with our hair products. Crystal has body butter, which she actually, like, her body butter is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So she had a lot of just for women, just women's scents, but now she's kind of making a plainer body butter for men, just so we can use something. So that's coming out. Like, we actually, I actually experimented with trying to make a body butter today, and that's what I actually messed up on. Because I like to blend all type of crazy stuff in there and see if it actually worked.
I'm like that. I always overdo it. Like whenever I cook food, I over season the food, and it has like 30,000 different flavors and notes to it.
and another thing I actually try to do and see is how much Seamoss powder I can add to each one of these. And so I go crazy sometimes. Like I'll dump a whole bunch of Seamoss powder and something and see if it works.
And what happens when you when you put too much? Is there an issue like this? Like how do you know when you put too much powder?
It actually just depends on the oil that you're using.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're mixing an oil that some oils, if you use too much powder, it kind of cakes up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the oil really, the Seamoss really starts to like kind of taking in all the oil.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like once you start stirring it up, it's not getting that consistency that you really want.
That creamy, yeah. It's more harder and thick.
Exactly. It's more
like clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way to put it.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I haven't tried body butters before, but So what is body butter? It's like basically like a thick cream, like a body cream.
What, body butter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I would say like a thicker lotion.
Uh-huh.
The best way I can describe it is it's not like shea butter. It's a little bit softer than a shea butter. Kind of goes on a lot better. But it lasts like a shea butter would almost.
Yeah, like it's like I guess a really thick moisturizer. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
My kids probably have some.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, to be honest with you. Like, I'm be truthful. I didn't know what it was. I just kind of, Crystal, that's what she does. And so as soon as she started talking about it, I was like, oh, okay, let's make. She's like, yeah, I'm going to make a body butter. I'm like, oh, sounds nice. And then.
Who doesn't want to put butter on their body?
Exactly. I'm all for it.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
Oh, man. You know what? Let me do this now before I forget. Let me go get my charger. Because last week, I was talking and the next thing you know, my phone went dead.
You're the ghost. I actually got to put you in touch with my wife because she wants to get into freeze drying machine. I don't know what happened. She was watching some YouTube video or something, and she just started going bananas about freeze dry. Oh yeah, we can do this and we can freeze dry fruit and rah rah. And I'm just like, yeah, I've been there, done that. Like, okay.
I'm telling you. You know what the funny thing is? I actually got a call in. I think I might have went overboard. I actually been running my freeze dry for like 3 weeks straight. I'm talking about haven't turned it off, haven't stopped it.
Wow.
And then it just stopped on me yesterday. So.
What's the brand name that you have? Was it a Harvest one or?
No, it's a Sonova.
Sonova. Well, I was gonna see if I can get her to call you. She might have some questions.
Yeah.
About
it. I'll definitely put you in touch. I might have to. Man, I gotta call them tomorrow anyway. So, hopefully their customer service. I should call them tonight.
Yeah. Get it so that when they wake up, they get the message.
Yeah. So, what else you think about doing with the freeze dry?
I don't know. Let me ask her again. She was saying it, but I don't want to say it too loud. But I wasn't really listening.
Yeah, like I'm all for that. Like, please, somebody else. Sorry.
But I know she was talking about fruits and Seamoss, obviously, and what was it? That was why she wanted to do.
You can almost freeze dry anything, man.
That's what it was. Like she got into the. I think she asked me a question, and I was like, "Oh, the freeze dry is the best method to do that." I think it was for some herbs or something like that. And I was like, and she was like, "Why freeze dry?" I was like, "Because it, doesn't." And then next thing you know, she was on YouTube and she was just watching videos for like the next 3 days. Like, it's decided that she can make this. Well, one of the things she discovered is that nobody in the, I guess, the Ontario area has a freeze dried facility. And so because she was like, I can't go, no one's doing it third party. So I think that's what her business idea is. She wants to learn the machine, how it works, this and that, and then slowly get up to this thing where she has an operation where she's like, anybody can come to her and freeze dry anything. You know what I mean? You want to freeze dog food. You know what I mean? She'll be like, come freeze dry it. Like, so she'll be like a white label company for freeze drying.
Well, truthful with you, that's actually, and funny that she's saying that, because that's actually a good business, because you can't find freeze drying anywhere, and you really can't find it in a commercial setting, where you really get commercial freeze drying. But like, as we are talking about, it's just the type of machine you got to get. That's the biggest thing, is that you have to find, there's only a few manufacturers or suppliers of a large industrial freeze dry machine, until you start looking at those ones that I remember. I think I was talking to you about it, that I called them and they told me it was like 1.5 million, or it was some outrageous number for this machine. And and we haven't talked to them. I haven't talked to them ever since.
But at the same time, like, for a machine like that, it's like, if you can pay it off over 10 years or 20 years and you build a decent enough business, it's doable.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful if you can pay it off, and like, you'll love it. But it's just the rest of it. It's like, okay, so it's just that initial getting it.
Yeah, starting the business, getting the, that's where the risk is. That's where the reward is.
That's where the reward is.
Like, I don't know how it is there in the States, but I know in Canada here, after you're in business for a certain amount of time, or if you go to the right there's basically organizations that help you get the financing so that you can apply for these sort of like capital expenditures. And the idea is that you are going to pay it off like so many years and stuff like that. And so they almost turn it into like a lease like product where you're paying like a monthly fee for it and you're running your business. But you got to be confident enough to make sure that you can, or even understand the industry enough that you know that you can go out and sell this product to somebody and they're going to buy it. You know what I mean? What if they don't like your shit? You know? So I think that's where the stage she's at now is more, let me figure how these freeze dried industry work, like whether or not I even want to get into it. Freeze dry some shit, probably for like herself and whatever. Maybe she'll, do it, because I mean, those machines, like even yours, it's like it takes a day to freeze dry something.
Yeah, see, and that's the biggest thing about it.
Like, how much can she really sell? That's what I was saying to her. I'm like, there's no real get it to discover it and figure it out. But I go, there's no real big like bulk business on it. You know?
Yeah. See what happens is you can. Let's see the best way to put it. You can actually, like, when you get the machine like I have. The machine I have is really for like home use, so that you're not trying to do a lot. Now, what happens, like, once you start using it kind of way I'm using it now, I'm really thinking like, okay, well, I need to start looking almost commercial, or start moving to that point where I don't think I can buy another one of these small ones, because what I see is kind of like what your wife sees. And so it's like, okay, yeah, I see that it's doable. Even I think because with the commercial ones, it may not take that long. It may be a shorter process. I'm not sure, but still, man, yeah. Like I'm to that point where I see it works, Like, okay, I see the difference. I see where now there's a lot of things that are going the freeze dry method because more people understand about it. Dried fruits, even with certain powders that you're using. Yeah, just more people are starting to understand about it, which is I'm happy.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be a growing business. Like off the top of my head, I could see the industry growing to the point where local people are going to places to get their stuff freeze dried because it's say going bad or it's they want the fruit to last, or say they're like they farm in their like say in the future it gets to the point where we're farming we have our own gardens and we're farming stuff, and now we got to preserve it and keep it for the rest of the season and stuff like that, and so we go to our local freeze dry guy and freeze dry it, and then we have it there. You know what I mean? Like, why can't we do that?
You're right.
And I would trust me, even making my own powders and say mixes, I would trust that more going to a local guy and getting my stuff done like that. It's like brewing your own beer. You know what I mean? Some guys, they would never go to a beer store and they're like, oh, that's chemicals and all that's got this and got that. You know what I mean? You provide a service where they can, produce their own product on their own, their own powders, their own mixes or whatever. Boom. That's a business right there. So maybe we'll have to partner up on that, Ricky, and see.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, you run it off. Yeah.
Well, the big picture situation. That's really kind of goes into the big picture situation. So
yeah, I'll run Canada freeze dried, and you do Atlanta freeze dried.
Yeah.
We just share business. Be like boom boom. I've actually been wanting to talk to. I think I mentioned to you earlier, like where, I think it'd be good to put some of your products on my site. I have also this other guy, Kirby. Definitely have to put his products on the site because we were supposed to do it for a long time ago, and it just, you know how it is, dude. Like the Seamoss life.
Man, I'm telling you, see, the crazy thing is, like, I felt like I talked to you like a day or so ago, but it's been a week ago, and that's how it kind of days start to run together. There's not enough time in a day to do everything you want to do.
I forgot what day I did this live stream, and it was yesterday. Like, I don't even remember really what I did yesterday. I'm pretty sure I didn't go to the warehouse, but maybe I did.
Did you do a live yesterday?
Well, that's what they said, but I thought it was Friday I did it. On Instagram I did it. And
okay, see, I was looking for that one because Moss Boss asked me, like, he was telling me about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta see it. I thought it was, for some reason, I thought he told me it was yesterday.
Maybe it was yesterday. And that's what I'm saying. I thought I did it on Friday. I don't remember.
Yeah, I missed it. I was trying to find it. So
it's definitely on it. You know what? Let me just go to.
I'll tell him to run it back.
It will tell me when I said it. I don't even know why I play the guessing game. Just go right to the source. Boom, bam. And so, you know what? It probably was Saturday. Oh, great. It doesn't say. Yeah, it was one day ago. So it had to be yesterday. That's how crazy my life is. I don't even remember what I did yesterday. And it's not even like a full 25. Like, that's scary.
Trust me, it gets like that. Like, yep. I can't. Boy, let me see.
What?
Trying to figure out some stuff on here. I'm just
breezing through.
Yeah.
I'll let you look at that, and I'll check in with Rio. What's up, bro? How you been, Rio? Maybe he's muted.
Everything's cool. I'm on talking.
Cool. Did you get the package yet?
No, not yet. I'm waiting, boy.
I'm sorry I got a little delayed. It would have been there sooner, but I pulled it so I could get that stick. The Guava Day, so it's there for sure.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all because that's what I was hoping for when you did do that. I was just like, man, I just wanted to try it, and plus, and just I understand that you have a business, so it's no.
Well, as long as you can wait for it to get there, you know what I mean? Because I did forget it. But I threw it in, and I also threw with Bailey's, and I think there might be a cinnamon stick. No, I don't know. Definitely put some Bailey's to boil with it.
Yeah, I mess with Bailey's teas and cooking, so that back that up for real. Can't lie about that.
Oh no, the Bailey's are amazing. I love that. Especially with the sour sauce together, it's a good combination.
Well, yeah. Real quick, I wanted to ask about if y'all, agari, right? That's how they pronounce. Well, when they say it really fast, I don't freaking know, but agari. Agar. Thank you. Freaking A. Agar. But that's basically Seamoss. It's just the red one. Can you make that dry using a freezer dryer?
I don't think so. Because with the agar, it's like they extract that out of the Seamoss, right? So I don't know. I'd have to learn to see what processes they use for the extraction.
I've seen two processes. The formula, how they do it over in the Philippines and such. It's a alcohol one, and then they purify it after they pull it with the alcohol, and then they take out the alcohol after. So I'm just assuming that they apply heat until all the alcohol comes out.
They might use what's called a rotovac, which is they use sort of light heat and vacuum, because you don't want to use too much heat because you're gonna affect probably the chemical structure of it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if you're familiar with cannabis, but when they're making cannabis oil, that's what they use as part of the process. It's basically this round tube with a spout, and it spins in this jar that heats it. And because the way the rotovac spins, it slightly heats the thing, and then there's a vacuum pressure that takes all the alcohol out of it. And so it basically slowly blows off the alcohol. And so it doesn't affect the cellular integrity of whatever that product is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was coming to, I was asking for, because I'm gonna with your batch I'm gonna experiment a whole bunch, and even with the gummy texture, I already experiment with the Seamoss and with the textures of it without making gummies, so I know how to get certain textures and all that. Which, I mean, it's not too hard, but it is playing with it a lot. When it comes to, especially, it's hard to get like a chewy something though. I can't lie, but I'm not gonna use. It doesn't make sense to use agar if you could I think you could just make it with a different type of Seamoss, and it's just like apply how much heat you apply and all of that. But
what would you be using the agar?
It's just gonna just basically a thickener. That's all it is. It's a thickener.
Maybe make the Seamoss gel more concentrated, so then you get more Seamoss liquid when you add to it, and it'll thicken better. But it already is a thickener and emulsifier. Like if you wanted to make a salad dressing, you could throw that in the salad and thicken it up.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like when people, okay, so if you was to go and a lot of people do that. They add agar. They add that to the gum, and I don't think they know that it's already Seamoss. They're just adding a different. It's the red Seamoss they use to make it out of, and yeah. So
here's the thing: when it comes to making the jellies and stuff, right? The agar is more concentrated, I believe. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's my sort of thought. Is that the agar is going to be more concentrated than using Seamoss because it's an extraction, and you're going to have a lot more stuff with the Seamoss. Sorry, with the agar in the Seamoss. You know what I mean? Like it's not 100% agar.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I don't even want to use it. But I still might experiment. I just want to experiment with it. And do you know what pectin is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna experiment with pectin, and I'm gonna experiment with agar, and and I'm gonna see the results.
But isn't there an issue with pectin and vegans or something like that? Like that's why most vegans use agar as opposed to pectin. What is pectin made of?
It's made out of freaking fruit, like the cell. Pectin comes from the cellular. It's a cellular structure inside of certain fruits like apples. I know there's a lot of pectin in green apples. There's a lot of pectin in like lemon and lime. But I wouldn't want to extract from lemon and lime just because. Well, lime at least because bitter, the rind, and because that's what a lot of when people making jams and jelly.
Yeah,
they use pectin in it.
Yeah, marmalade, that kind of stuff.
Right. And then, but because since they're in the business of it, they have the resources to make the pectin themselves. So just by boiling it down, and they almost like if like it's almost not. I'm just like a comparing. But if you were to make like potato fries, whatever, you let it soak, like especially like potato pancakes, and you shred your potatoes, and then you let the potatoes soak. All that starch at the bottom that drips down. It's almost like that's how pectin. All that stuff. The stuff that comes out the apples, if you use apples or limes, that's the pectin.
Kind of like the part of the juice or something like the essence of the apple.
Exactly, and then it's So I mean, that's pretty. I mean, stuff. It's cool. It's because just doing research and then going down the rabbit hole and you finding all this stuff out is pretty cool. But
I love it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm gonna let you know when I experiment. I'm gonna do the I'm gonna do the calamari thing. When I do.
Oh, you're gonna deep fried Seamoss? Yeah, let's check that out. See if it comes like an onion ring or a calamari.
Yeah, hopefully
that would be cool. You might be game changing right there.
Yeah. But that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, when it comes, it comes, man. It ain't no rush. I appreciate everything. That's it.
No problem. I hope you get value. That's a funny thing. You get value from the blob one day. I hope it works for you.
Now, I mean, that's the thing about it. I'm good, right? But it's like, cause I have friends and they don't never say it. They don't talk about it, right? They don't like they do. With this, this how my friends talk about it. They be like, they'll be on the phone or something like that, and they'll be like, like I don't know. They'll be like, oh yeah, you taking some of that stuff? Oh, it worked for you? Oh, okay. Let me see some. And I'll ask him, yeah, and I was like, you have a problem or something like that? And he was like, nah, I'm good. I just want to try it out. And I'd be like, okay. But if I could find a better solution for them, that's what I'm gonna do it for. I'd be like, yo, you don't have to pop the blue pills. You could use this right here. You feel me?
Well, to me, there's nothing wrong, even if it works and everything, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of edge or advantage, or whatever you call it.
Shoot, if it really boosts me up like that, I'm gonna blow you off on.
Yeah. I'll say one thing that I enjoy about it, because like you, I don't really have an issue, mainly because of the Seamoss, too, because I've been keeping a somewhat good diet for the last few years. Plus, a lot of it has to do with like your physical exercise and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like if you're overweight and you're not moving around and stuff like that, then you're going to have issues with the eating and stuff, right? But using it just gives you more stamina. It just gives you, and I guess the final orgasm is amazing. It feels a lot better than just normal. There's something about it.
All right, now.
Yeah. It's like fireworks.
How is the cocoa? You've been consistent, like with how's it been working out for you?
Coconuts?
Yeah.
Not every day. I haven't taken the last few days, but I like it. I mean, I found out I was taking a little bit wrong. You're supposed to boil it like cocoa tea, and so I'm starting to do it a different way. It's working good. I don't know. I'm gonna try some more this week. This weekend I didn't do anything. I didn't see anything about my libido, but I felt like my metabolism was moving higher, and then I could tell that if I were to keep taking that, I would probably start losing a lot of weight.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. If that's what's going on with you, in combination with that, and you're familiar with like well, the Wim Hof, and okay, so when you jump in that cold water, your metabolism shoots up like crazy. Yeah, so in those two combinations, that's what's going on, man. You good to go.
Actually, that brings me to a good thought. My friend is doing a session tomorrow. Not tomorrow. The 22nd. And maybe I should ask her if it's okay if I tell other people about it. But she's doing this, Wim Hof
breath work.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm down. I mean, I understand, but I will. It's because in the key when you listen to meditation, you follow. It's so much more easier because you don't have to think too much. So, yeah, man. If where is she doing it? Like on like what?
Zoom. Zoom. I'm gonna actually pull up her page here and share it. This girl's a really nice, cool person. Very, great energy and spirit. I've known her for like, at least 15 years, 17 years. Yeah. She lived in Toronto and then she moved to Dubai. And we always kept in touch. She was working out there, and she got into the holistic. Hey, do you have me on a speaker?
Yeah, why? You can hear the echo?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
It makes me, it's distracting me. But she's got a podcast. I'll pull that up. And getting back to saying, the breath work is amazing. Are you not able to talk when you have the volume turned down? Is that the problem?
It's not even that. I don't know if Clubhouse works good with Androids or what, but I'm about to get my headset, and then if you can hear me with that, or I'm gonna get some freaking man. I have a whole bunch of Apple products, but yet I don't have an iPhone. Hold on.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, the breath work. I'm trying to look and see if there's I don't know if it's my computer, but her video seems to be, her website seems to be a little bit slow. Yeah, but she does work in the healthcare practice, and she does specific areas. One is about health and wellness in the workplace. Another is about She works with people that are pre. Uh, it's almost like pre-menopausal. It's like, or maybe it's like just before they go into menopause. They're preparing for the pre-menopause. That's it. Pre-menopause preparation. I knew it was like this like series of P's that she did because when she described about it, and it's basically being prepared to understand about the what to expect, and sort of making sure that you have the right levels of hormones and stuff like that, because a lot of times when the women go through menopause and they have these hot flashes and mood swings, it's because there's rapid changes in their biochemistry. And if you can minimize some of these like issues by making sure that you have the right right diet, the right amount of exercise, that kind of stuff, right thought process, and stuff. So she does that, and she also works in workplace mental wellness, which I think is becoming a big deal. A lot of companies are investing in the workplace wellness. People have their hands raised. Oh, hi, Joe. I'm so sorry. I have the screen the way it was. I couldn't see you, and I didn't realize you were there with your hands raised. So I apologize. Normally, I invite everybody that comes in the room to the stage so they can speak. Did you have a question?
Oh, that's great. Hi, guys.
Good, good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm John from Tanzania. Ever heard about Tanzania before?
Yes, yes. They have some amazing Seamoss.
Oh, that's really great. Oh, by the way, I'm doing I'm in the Seamoss business, and I am exporting bulk of Seamoss from cool. Few gram to tons of Seamoss.
Nice.
Because I'm farming by myself, but I hear some testimonies on Seamoss, like people have stroke. For instance, I get into this business because my grandma was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Was having back pain problems, and others were having ulcers, and others has pressure, high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I supply them with this kind of the Seamoss, and then they become, oh my God, I'm okay. So my question is, does anyone knows what the chemical composition inside the Seamoss that works like a magic wand? Everybody using Seamoss, when you have a leg pain or anything, if you use Seamoss, you become okay. What's the component inside the Seamoss make people heal? Most of people have asked me this question, and I couldn't provide the answer.
Well, I think it's a combination of different stuff, right? I don't think they've pinpointed to one sort of mineral or nutrient, but it's known that Seamoss, of all kinds of Seamoss, whether it's Condorus crispus, Garcilaria, or Eukinema, like I think you guys grow mostly Eukinema in Tanzania, right?
Yeah. We have Eukinema and the Cotonou.
Yeah. And so,
but most of people use Eukinema.
Yeah. Wasn't the Eukinema cottini? Isn't that all just one species, one name, and then
Yeah. It's one species.
Yeah, and then there's like sometimes there's the Garcilaria, but also like that sometimes looks like the Eukinema, and then even
Garcilaria, it's one with which is two like a spaghetti.
Yes. And then even there's a Kappa Saiva Alvarez is the name. But when I found out, did more research, it's just another name for Eukinema cottini. There's actually different names of Eukinema cottini, and there's even just Eukinema on its own, which I think might be slightly different than the other one. I don't know. There's so many to keep track of. It's difficult, But no, that's what were we talking about? We got kind of trailed off.
I asked why treat many things.
Yeah, so I think that we can, I guess, explore that further to sort of isolate what exactly it is. that is in it, but I just know from people's research and stuff that the that the CMOS is known for reducing inflammation, and that's what's causing a lot of the reduction in the pain that you're getting in the CMOS.
Okay.
Like when you're healing, that's part of the healing process is the reduce of the inflammation. But what exactly items are like that? It probably is like the potassium, the magnesium. There's a lot of phosphorus in it. There's also iron and zinc. And so even having those vitamins can ease a lot of the pains and because what I feel is it's like taking CMOS, or at least my experience when I took it, it was like it really just kind of filled up all the minerals that I was missing or lacking, and it just kind of balanced it out, and that's what made me feel overall well and just comfortable. You know what I mean? Like I felt good, feeling like energetic and everything like that. So I don't know, but it's a good question, and I think it's something I'm gonna like as I do more research. I'm gonna keep my eyes out for information that sort of points in that direction. Like these are what are the key ingredients that are causing this stuff. But John, if you go and you search online, and instead of searching for sea moss, you search for seaweed, you'll find a lot of information that because most like studies don't classify the sea moss as sea moss. It's considered in the kingdom of seaweeds, right? And so you'll find more information that way. So I hope that helps.
I also wonder if
So go ahead, Lisa. What did you want to say?
Hey, Julian.
Hey.
You know who this is? You know who this is, right?
Yes. I wanted to say what's up. That's why I wanted to give you your chance first, because I know you just wanted to say, hey, how's it going?
I did. I just finished washing some of your Seamoss.
Oh, nice.
I know, right?
Yes, thank you.
And then I start scrolling through the rooms and I see you and I'm like, oh my God, there's Julian. Let me drop in and say, hey, what's up?
Oh, and thank you so much for sending that lady to me. I really appreciate it. She's a really nice person. I enjoyed talking to her over on the phone.
Wait a minute. I sent somebody to you and I told them to call you?
I think I talked to her on the phone. I either talked to her on the phone or I talked to her in message, and it felt like I talked to her on the phone.
Cool.
But it was a lady who said that she's like, I got your information from a lady named Lisa Michelin. And I was like, oh yeah, like tell her. I said, what's up?
I definitely promote you everywhere I can. Seamoss people got to stick together.
Love. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna release my mic.
Yes, thank you. So, what did you want to ask, Maria? Thanks for being patient.
No worries. I'm actually wondering if how Seamoss, how it's being charged by the sun, if that has any bonus benefits to it too.
That's possible as it dries, but my experience touching and handling sea moss directly from the ocean, there's just something like life force about it and energetic about it. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's just weird. Like, and especially when it's like in its environment, like when you're walking around on the ocean floor, there'll be times like, that the sea moss will just, you'll feel something just grab you. And you're like the first couple of times, it would freak me out, and then I started realizing that it was the sea moss. And so, you bend down, you pick this up, and there's just this big bunch, and it's just jiggling, and it's, you know what I mean? It's got all this kind of like action to it, and it's, it's a little bit slimy and stuff, and I love it. Oh, it's just, it's just like joy. Touching it just gets you excited. And so I think it's just it's the absorption of the collective energies of the ocean. But in addition to that, I feel that, and this is where I see the difference between commercially grown sea moss or sea moss that is, what people would say is pool grown. I don't know if it's really pool grown, but I believe it's Seamoss that's not grown with love. Do you know what I mean? And it's not handled with care. And so when you look at countries like, John from Tanzania, some other people from, say, Jamaica, Grenada, where these smaller sort of areas are, where, they're not really, exporting it. Like, okay, John does tons, but like, there's countries that are doing like megatons and they're doing like full containers all the time to send to corporations to extract for agar and whatnot, right? Those companies, I feel in a lot of ways, they're it's a commodity that they're producing, and they're not putting the same love and care as someone like John would put, or someone in St. Lucia would do. You know what I mean? It's a whole different environment, you know. And so I think that's where a lot of the quality and love, like I can tell, like looking at two different sea mosses, if someone cared for that sea moss when they dried it, you know what I mean, or not. I've dried sea moss myself, and so I know the work that's required into drying it properly and to make it look pretty and beautiful. If you don't watch this thing, if you leave it like for 2 hours and not paying attention, it can burn. You know what I mean? Like the sun gets that hot, so you're constantly got to flip it, or it doesn't dry evenly, and one area gets drier than the other, and it's just not going to form a good product. You know what I'm talking about, right, John?
Yes, of course, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just saying because you're moving a lot megatons, and you're in Tanzania, and you're dealing with the actual farm, so you understand like what I mean by making sure that the product has love and care. And if you don't put the what should I call it? If you don't put that love and care to people, it's not going to be the same.
Yep, because that the CMOS need to be cared a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They are like what you talk. I don't know. Maybe you talk like you put many feelings about CMOS. Love. But when the women.
No, you're breaking up a little bit.
Hello?
Yeah, you're better now.
Okay. So the thing is, in here, women are the one who produce CMOS.
Mm-hmm.
And the women, usually they don't work. The only thing that they have is only doing the planting the moss and taking care, removing everything that's attached to the CMOS. Mm-hmm. We call them in Swahili mashava. Yes. But luckily, thank God, we have very cool water around here. Like not many tubular waves. So water is always very cool. And that makes CMOS to absorb a lot of nutrients, and that's why we get a very good and quality CMOS. And it's not all part of the Tanzania that they can farm CMOS. It's only maybe in Zanzibar, mostly in Zanzibar, because it has a very, very cool waters. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I think that's why most of the CMOS come from this side. People will say that it's a good CMOS, and the way they process it, it's only sun drying and nothing like not like other places. People maybe will wash the CMOS to get the process very quickly and drying quickly so that they can put it into the market. But until to date, maybe it's not this. We have not. That's what I can say.
Yeah. So it is a lot like similar to like St. Lucia in that regards. I think too many people are watching on my on my network at home. It seems like...
Usually, one thing I have In my Instagram, I have shared some videos on some how we plant Seamoss and how we dry the Seamoss the local way, and try to give the feeling of how this.
People like sort of like what happens in the,
Yeah,
like,
what
the day life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do it. You know, even create a like a YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'll do that.
You know what I mean? You started. Here's what I've noticed lately. Um, there's a lot of on YouTube. There's a lot of people getting activity or streams or followers on, and all they're doing is showing what they're doing in their daily lives in the islands in the Caribbean. You know what I mean? Like it started with Ross Kitchen, who I have a lot of respect of. They built a really good business. I mean, a really good following. But then there's a few other ones now where I'm seeing them like they're how do you say it? It's like their channels, their shows are really um, they they're getting so much activity and views, and you're just kind of like, you know what, this it's like if this person can get views, like almost any, like it just shows that there's a lot of interest in people seeing what other people are doing in other countries abroad.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I would even leverage it not just in CMOS, but your whole what it's like living in Tanzania. You know, like there's a guy I watched who he does a YouTube show, and all he does is travel around Venezuela. He usually has a pretty girl with him, and they go on a beach or they go on a hiking trail and stuff. And this guy's getting like 200, 300,000 views.
Wow, that's a very good idea you have given me.
Yeah, and there's money in it. Do you know what I mean? Forget about the CMOS. You can make decent money just getting, you know, getting people to watch your show and show what you're doing normally. It's like almost like a second income, side hustle.
Yeah, that's great.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but one question, I think it's outside the CMOS, how to promote the channel and to be known, and everybody to get to click and watch.
That takes time.
Yeah, that takes time, huh?
Yeah, but think about this. When I first started doing this, no one came into my clubhouse. No one came into the